is there anything we should review on those connections that we've made? I have one power cord plugged in. I have one connection to your corporate LAN into NIC 4. I have another connection from NIC 1 into my little switch here. It's just a little isolated network, of which this network laptop is seeing right now. I've got my mouse and keyboard hooked into the USB ports. I happen to be using the front ones here today. There is a graphics connection on the front too, so I could, if you had a crash card, you just plug it on the front. Okay, so let's power that guy on. Okay, so found the power switch, right? Goes through its power on self-test. Comes up, reports the version of the BIOS that it's running. It's going to go check its resources now. Fans are going through their pays to make sure they spin up and come back down. And 3 beeps there tell me how many things are hooked up. Actually, it was 2 beeps. No, I think it was 3. One is for the optical drive, and then I have 2 connections here. So for every device you have plugged into it, it's going to give you a beep. Still doing self-tests. It's starting to look now what resources are built into this computer or that they're configured for. And of course, we know that it should be finding the RAID controller at this point. And then the RAID controller's job will be to go find the disk drives hooked up to it. So there's a little bit of hesitation right here. I've noticed this got longer with that last firmware update. This has the same firmware as what your server does, and they're both current. Okay, so here it is. It's talking about that firmware update that we did. 2 ports. It's seeing, well, it has 2 physical ports, one to talk to our high relay and one to talk to the optical drive in here. And now it passed control already to the Windows loader. So this looks like a Windows 8 box at this point. Do you have any Windows 8 running here yet? Yeah. Yeah. 8.1 maybe. There's a new release coming out, like, or maybe did it ship out? There's a new patch.
Oh, I haven't seen it.
Okay, and so here's your what a greeting screen looks like, a login prompt, and of course it's the usual things. And this is where we type in. It comes up to the only user account there, LEKP-2012. So it's the operating system's name. So we're jumping to 2012 OS. And then an exclamation mark, I think. Okay, and of course it did have a little eyeball there. That's kind of cool. You can see, did I mistype that? You can look under there and say, I typed it right. All right, by default loads the server manager. We don't really, I could probably turn that off. We don't really care. We're all configured. All right, so it's right back in the state it was before we shut it off. It's just a server box sitting here. It is connected to the network. All right. Now, if we revert back to our documentation, then we have booted up and we've logged in. So here it should look something like that. Hey, exactly. Now, what we're going to do is find our backup set. So we can work with this SQL set that I have in your tray for now, and then we can go grab one of your fresher ones if you wish. I have plenty of old ones you saw the copies I have there. So we got a lot of places to pull our recovery source from. And so let's just go, as the instructions say, browse for it. We know we're on that drive. And we're going to, it's going to talk about which files to pick here. And all you need to do is focus on the drive C. Even though we know, gee, that server, how many drives did it have? It did like C, D, and J, or whatever. You don't have to worry about that. It's really powerful.
So you're looking at that drive.
I am looking at a piece of media. I said,
Gotcha.
Kate, bring me that recovery your backup image from, and that's so that we're looking at an old backup image right now. That's the way that server labels them.
Okay.
And then if we do a date modified sort here, you guys keep a few extra things on there. But 326 through 328. So I'm going to find my latest C from 328, 9:01 a.m. Okay. I recommend when you find that file, you write it down so that if you have to redo this, you'll know not to use that one again if it didn't meet your needs. You'll know what you did use. Okay, so this is highlighted on that page you're looking at now. We see incrementals. And so we know that if that one was made at 9:01 a.m., it is built onto a full backup. Let's look for our fulls right here. Shadow Protect full. Let's go incrementals. I don't see any fulls yet. Let's go big screen on this. Where's my fulls? There's a full for E. There it is. B1231. And if we looked up here at the first one we saw is 1321 second snapshot. Since the evening before 10:18 p.m. it concluded. I started at 10. No, I bet that started at 9. It's a long, it's a big backup, 53 gigabytes. So we can, let's go for this one. That's the latest file. Let's pretend that right now it was that date, the 28th, and it's 8:30. So, oh my gosh, we need to get, so that's our latest data. So we're just going to go with that one. All right. And what we do then, according to the instructions, is right-click it, and then look on the list for virtual boot. That's on page 10 now. All right, and then I'm going to activate the virtual boot, and it fires off this wizard. The wizard's going to step us through some parameters to build a virtual machine from this image file. All right, so this is just telling you all kinds of things here.